Hello, and thank you for watching the videos. I really appreciate it. And I also want to ask you to please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that as well. You have a good night, and please enjoy the video. Thank you. After watching the video, in 2024, you go to bed. Tomorrow you wake up, though. It's 1910. What was life like for you in 1910? Let's take a mini tour. First of all, you would have 13 million immigrants coming here from Russia, from Poland, and from Italy, changing the landscape dramatically. Most people today, they watch videos with their cell phones, right? Well, there wouldn't be any smartphones, no computers, no Wi-Fi. You would use telegraphs and letters. Airplanes? No, not yet. You would use horse-drawn carriages or trains or just walking. In the house, no AC. Social rights, women's rights, minority rights, no. All in their infancy. No ATMs, no electric lighting in most homes. People had gas lamps back then. Indoor plumbing was still rare to have in your home. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, no, none of those things. So I wanted to give you a feel of what life was like in 1910. Which leads us into the first missing recorded case in New York. The person was Dorothy Harriet Camille Arnold. Now, Arnold was a member of a prominent millionaire family in New York City in 1910. Her father was a perfume importer, and her family had high social standing as a result. She was a graduate of Bryn Mawr College in Pennsylvania, and she was fluent in several languages. And she was also trying to gain notoriety as a writer. She resided with her family in a mansion on East 79th Street in the borough of Manhattan in 1910. Now, on the morning of December 12th, she left her house. She told her mother she was going to go shopping for a new evening gown. Her mother said she wanted to go with her, but Arnold said no, she wished to go alone. So she walked to Fifth Avenue and turned south. A clerk at the Park and Tilford's candy store saw her about 1:45, and he said she was in very good spirits and seemed very happy. Arnold then bought a book at Brentano's, which was a very famous bookstore on 27th and 5th. And she had a chance encounter with a friend inside the store. So they talked for a few minutes before she left the bookstore. She left her friend in the store because she was going to take a walk in Central Park. But she was also supposed to meet her mother later on for lunch at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. Her mother went to the hotel to meet her, but Arnold never arrived. Remember, in 1910, there weren't any cell phones, you couldn't text, you couldn't call, and so her not being at the hotel did not worry her mother initially. There was no need to worry at that time because Arnold knew the city very well. She had friends in the city and people knew her. Plus, she had about $30 that day on her in cash. So initially, her father did not worry about her. As it began to get dark that night, her parents were still not worried about her. They just thought she stayed the night with a friend of hers. But on the second night, when she did not return, her parents became very concerned. Now, this is when it becomes interesting. Because of her parents' high status in life, because of who they were worried about calling the police because of the negative publicity. So they hired a PI instead to start the search for their daughter. So the PI started an exhaustive search, but no evidence regarding her location was found ever. The police were finally informed about her disappearance 2 to 3 months later, and they also searched and nothing came up. Strangely enough, her father believed that she was murdered and disposed of in a reservoir in Central Park in December of 1910. But there was nothing there to support this theory. It was very confounding for him to even say this, and people were very confused where he got this theory from. Her disappearance was widely publicized, and her photographs was shown in all the newspapers in the U.S. and in Europe. But nothing yielded any results for her. But the police did find a few interesting facts. They discovered that she had rented a post office box a few months before she disappeared. The box was a secret from her loved ones. No one knew she had this secret P.O. box. They think she used it for her rejected manuscripts because, remember, she was trying to become a writer. Another interesting point is that the police found out she was secretly dating a George C. Griscom Jr., a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania engineer in his 40s. He also was from a wealthy family from Pennsylvania. Now, Arnold spent a week with her boyfriend a few months before she vanished. She told her family, though, she was going to go visit some college friends, but went to see him instead. On the way home from her tryst, she pawned $500 worth of jewelry for $60. Now, Griscom was in Florence, Italy in December 1910. He helped to search for her and stated to everybody that if I find her, I am going to marry her. He denied any involvement in her disappearance and gave her family a letter she had written to him in 1910. The note said that one of her short stories had been rejected by the magazine, and she was very depressed and down as a result. Another theory that came to light was that maybe she staged her disappearance before she vanished. They said this because she was asking to move out of her parents' home, but her father refused to let her go. However, this theory was discredited within months because she never came back. No one ever heard from her. It just didn't make any sense. So the theory was shot down pretty fast. And still yet, one more theory came to light. They think she took her own life. They say maybe she was pregnant and died in the botched abortion. Every hospital in the area was checked and no one matching her description was seen or witnessed or spoken to. This case was confounding because it had so many theories and conspiracies and secrets attached to it. She was never found. But also this case is interesting because it's over 114 years old. It's the first New York missing persons case to be recorded. I hope you enjoyed this video and please subscribe. Thank you.